Mr. Lee Anthony. You may proceed.
Thank you. Please tell the court your name.
Lee Alexander Anthony.
How are you related to the defendant, Caylee Marie Anthony?
She is my sister.
Were you present at the residence on July 15th of 2008 when your mother, Cindy Anthony, made 911 calls?
Yes.
Were you at the residence when Cindy Anthony arrived there with Caylee Anthony?
Yes.
Where were you?
Actually, I met them in the driveway.
Okay. Did you have access to the garage at that point?
Yes, I came from the garage to the driveway.
All right. Did you notice whether or not there was any smell associated with the garage or any item in it?
There was a smell that I experienced when I went through the garage initially, because that's the way I entered the house as well. At least for me, it didn't make any sense whatsoever on why would you want the police coming, because at that point, it's all about we don't want to go to get Caylee right now. She's asleep, or whatever it is. Let's go get her in the morning. And I'm going, this doesn't make any sense, because if she's asleep or whatever, she'll just go back to bed here. So what I did was what I would describe as a role play. Absolutely, I just simply said, when the officer gets here, he's going to ask you, or he's going to say, Miss Anthony, how are you doing tonight? Great. Where's your daughter? Okay, let's go get her. Your mom's going to follow. We're going to go pick her up. So, I was just trying to say, this is what's going to happen. And if what might fly with my mom isn't going to fly with a police officer, like, what are you doing? So.
All right. So that's what you were trying to impress upon your sister.
Absolutely.
When your mother wasn't there.
Right. Like, if you're not going to take mom to him without the police here, you're going to have to take her to him when the police get here. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
At that point in time, did your sister tell you that she hadn't seen her daughter for 31 days?
Absolutely. Almost exactly to those words, yes.
Okay. Was your mom present when those words were first uttered?
No, she was not. She was either in the house or just coming back into the house at that point, because we had at least a moment where I was a bit dumbfounded before, my mom came back into that area of the house. So she didn't hear that initial one to my knowledge.
All right. When you describe your reaction to that as being dumbfounded, do you recall an earlier description that you gave where everything in your head just went white?
It's probably very accurate. It's one of those things where it's like you don't know what to say, and you're trying to understand the words that someone else just said, and it's almost like, any amount of time could have went by, and white's a good black. Anything where there's just, like now, there's nothing to fill in the space.
All right. Would you say that this revelation about Caylee not having contact with Caylee for 31 days was shocking?
That she said she hadn't seen Caylee in 31 days. Oh, absolutely. I was being dumbfounded. I think shock was probably a part of that. Absolutely.
Is you're standing either in Caylee's doorway?
Caylee's doorway, yes.
Caylee's in her room.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just conversing now, you're low talking.
Yes.
You're trying to get a grasp on this situation that has been just revealed to you.
Yes.
And your mom comes in.
Yes.
What reaction did your mother have? Did somebody tell her?
No, not in so many words. She comes, well, of course she came through me to come into the room and just simply said, what's going on? And my sister reiterated that, Mom, I haven't seen Caylee in 31 days. And that's where Mom gets Her reaction, I think, was a little different than mine. While I was maybe a little dumbfounded, and maybe didn't have anything to say immediately, she was a little different.
Can you describe that for the court?
She was very angry. Her first reaction was she had a clenched fist and hit the bed that my sister was sitting on. I'm assuming out of frustration or anger or something like that, and said, "What did you do? We could have found her 31 days ago." So,
Was she yelling at your sister?
Oh, absolutely, yes.